I have this over my face. I'm in the military. Being in the military, I don't have a lot of the rights to speak up about things as a lot of other people do. So until I'm out of the military, all of my videos will have this over my face. It's not because I'm trying to necessarily hide who I am. It's more of that I fear repercussions from the military. So once I'm out, the mask will come off, and I will no longer hide, pretty much. Alright, the first subject I want to touch on is gun control. It seems to be a pretty hot topic right now, so I'm going to read you something real quick. Gun control is not the answer. Liberals are being misled into taking this up due to the recent tragic events, but controlling guns will not eliminate acts of violence. People hell-bent on harming others will turn to bombs, toxic gases, and other forms of mayhem to accomplish their goals. You can't cure crazy, but we might be able to treat it if healthcare was more readily available, and that's actually a whole another topic for another video. But this is also being used as a smokescreen to turn your eyes away from other issues in Washington, like Obama bending over for more cuts to social programs and letting the bankers who have been running America into the ground off the hook. We have more high-profile prosecutions in this country for file sharing, that's like downloading fucking music, than we have for bank fraud. And so gun control is not the answer to all our violent crimes in this country. Legalizing marijuana, for example. Just legalizing weed will cripple much of the organized crime in America, taking the cash cow away from them and adding billions of dollars to our economy legally. Along with reducing the government expenditures on fighting a war, we will never win. And, when they had the prohibition on alcohol, crime skyrocketed. Then when the prohibition ended, crime went down also. So, and I'd like to touch on another thing on that is Chicago, for example, has Chicago has one of the strictest gun laws in the country. There's no gun shops in Chicago, and for many decades, up until I believe it's 2010, when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that it was going too far. You couldn't even have a handgun in Chicago. And so in I believe it was 2010, Supreme Court ruled they're going too far, and the city leaders decided to settle with some restrictions that were really honestly the closest they could get to legally banning all weapons without actually banning them. And Chicago, it's a city with no civilian gun ranges, no gun shops. It has a ban on assault weapons, high capacity mags, pretty much anything. And yet they find themselves, let me read this, Chicago finds itself laboring to stem a flood of gun violence that contributed to more than 500 homicides last year and at least 40 already in 2013. Now I believe that statistic was earlier in the month, so I'm sure it's quite a bit more than 40 already, unfortunately. So everybody who says that gun control is where it's at is they're misled. Richard Pearson, the executive director of the Illinois State Rifle Association, he made a statement saying that the gun laws in Chicago only restrict the law-abiding citizens, and they've essentially made the citizens prey. Now, I wholeheartedly believe that. It's not... the gun is merely a tool. If somebody wants to rob somebody, you take away their gun, you're going to do it with a knife or a baseball bat. All you're doing is you're taking away our means to defend ourselves. Not to mention you're violating our Second Amendment rights. So it's kind of my stance on gun control. See. Another quick topic I want to touch on real quick before I end this video is drones. Now, I don't know if very many of you have noticed in the news lately, Congress has passed a bill pretty much giving the okay for the government to fly drones freely over the United States. Now, there's absolutely so much wrong with that I honestly don't even know where to start. I could probably go on for at least an hour on that subject, but I'll save that for another video. But I will say this: it really goes to show how much our government trusts the people, or rather, how worried they are that there's going to be some sort of uprising in the future. You know, the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, is buying millions and millions of rounds of ammunition, hollow points, which are not target rounds. Hollow points are actually outlawed in war because I believe it's because they're felt to be inhumane. But DHS is also buying hundreds of thousands of automatic rifles. Now, they're allowed to have them, yet they say that you know the civilian population is not allowed to have them for self-defense, yet they can have them for defense against us. Now, I think it's pretty wrong. They know that people are gonna start to stand up to them pretty soon. When it becomes blaringly obvious that they're taking away all of our rights and turning our country into a dictatorship. Now, it's pretty obvious to me already what's going on. Um, so unfortunately, I think that not enough people know, but it's gonna become pretty obvious here shortly, I think. So yeah, it's my first video. I'll make more. They'll be a little bit better. I'm sorry my camera sucks, so the quality's not that great, but my next videos will be better. So thank you, and have a good day.